Alright, YouTubers, back. I'm going to talk about this, my Honda CT70 real quick here. I did, matter of fact, I couldn't, well, the other day I said I'd go out and take it for a drive. I got running, but it was raining all day yesterday, so I just kind of put it off for today. And I kind of slept a little bit. Slept over too much today, so but I took it out tonight outside and filled the tank up, and it started leaking. The gas started leaking. That's what I was afraid of, and it started leaking right here in the petcock area. I don't know if I think I might have the lever upside down on the other side, but it was leaking right out of here. But I'm gonna be flat out honest with you. I put the gas in. I flipped the lever thinking I was running the gas through the bowl, so it started leaking out here. I'm like, well, I was gonna I had to drain it real quick. So, but anyways, I took the Kickstarter and the bolt broke off inside here. So I'm like, shit. I'm gonna take that bolt out and fix it. 3 kicks started right up. I mean, it didn't. It was acting like it didn't have enough gas. Wasn't getting enough gas or something, and I had to pull the throttle wide open. After that, it started right up, and then it just wasn't getting enough gas. But there's plenty of flow coming down through the gas lines. The filters were working. I cleaned the old filters out, plugged them in. I believe I think it's in the carburetor. Might have to either get a new, and it ran without the choke. The choke plate's still not broken on it. But I just left it on wide open position, the choke. So I'm going to have to take the carburetor off, and maybe I might have to order a rebuild kit for it, or take it off and maybe see if I can fix it with something I might have here. I might be able to find the O-ring at Ace Hardware. They got a whole frickin' rack full of different size O-rings. So we'll have to see. I'm gonna flip the petcock lever around. I've been noticing the rebuilt one. I can get a rebuilt carburetor for like 26 bucks. That's pretty cheap. And some of them even have the new throttle cable and all that that comes with it. So I may end up buying a new carburetor for it, if I can't get this, fixed. So, but it does run. Ran it for let it idle for a couple of minutes, but I couldn't get it wouldn't rev up. It was like it was I was going to mess with the airflow screws, the idle screws, airflow, and then the Kickstarter bolt broke on this thing because it needs a new shaft or something. This thing is kind of screwed up. I ran a bolt. There's a bolt that runs through it that it works, but it snapped off inside. So I'm gonna have to take it apart and run a whole new bolt through there. Get a stainless steel bolt and run through there. But that's the least of my problems. I mean, I can't really do a whole lot until maybe next paycheck. But I'm on a budget, But anyways, and I took to go on to something else here. I went over to my Hammerhead that I have the gas tank on this thing. In my previous videos and my restoration, it was leaking. It was leaking right in here, and I'm like, well, $55 to get a new tank. You know, this is like almost not quite 2 gallons for the tank, and I just don't I didn't feel like shelling out $50, $60 for another tank for that thing. So I take that rubber off. So what I did was I took a drill and drilled holes all the way around where you put gas in the inlet, and I cut this piece out here. And, that's going in the garbage bin. So what I did is I had a air tank that I was using before I had bought this thing. I bought that air compressor for like $60 from some guy over here, yard sale thing. So I took this air tank and took the air fittings off here. And I took this off. I got this thing filled with water, so I'm washing it out. So what I did was I cut a hole in this, and I'm telling you, when you're cutting holes in a tank like this, get yourself a good hole saw. You know, that's bimetal, like a good brand, because I ended up having to I hacked it out. I got it smoothed out real good, but that's what I suggest, that you get yourself a good hole saw. Or I cut this hole saw out the size of this opening here. Yeah, I don't know if you can see in here. Let me get a flashlight. And so what I did was I had to cut that piece out. I got the hole saw. I cut all that out, and I had some gasket material that I had, and I think I'm going to have to take this off and put some sealer around it, and, you know, because when I was shaking it up, I have water in there, and soapy water in there, so I'm going to rinse it out and then let it air dry or something, get any particles out of there, because there was probably some metal shavings in there. So, and these are self-tapping screws. But I pre-drilled all these in the tank and then I used the self-tapping screws. Now it's real tight on there. So it's a 7 gallon gas tank. And here's my petcock I took out of this thing, out of the Hammerhead, and I think, you know, because I had to buy this, I had to went over to Ace Hardware and got a fitting so that this threading would fit in on the petcock that was on the original one, and then this one goes in the bottom of the tank, and then it would be. I'm still going to have to trim these threads. The threads are kind of funky. They're not exactly the same as the threads on the tank, on the old tank, but I was able to grinded the threads down, because, you know, they're real sharp. So I kind of dulled the blades, and I might have to get another O-ring and stick in there so I can. But I haven't tried it to see if it'll actually hold water. So that's what I was going to do. And I need to dump this water out. This has got degreaser water in it. Oh, there's still stuff in there. Oh, there's nuts and bolts. But that's where I'm at. But I thought I'd give you an update on my tank that I'm making. I'm probably end up painting it, repainting it black, and then I'll find a way to mount it back on the back of the Hammerhead, the GTS 150. All right, everybody. Have a nice evening. Oh, it's still going. Yeah, I had put nuts in there to shake it up, get all the rust or whatever was in there.